There it is. I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Happy New Year. 2023 is here. Let's hope we've got some luck for 2023 with West Ham in the Premier League. To my right is WestHamOnline. You know who he is. The most controversial man on Twitter. WestHamOnline. Happy New Year. And how are you, man?
Good. It's Happy New Year to you as well. And yeah, I'm well.
Good, mate. Good. Right. You weren't here the other day. Me, Mitchell, and Lucas rolled it out. What did you think of it the other day before we get people
on? Well, I thought the first 15 minutes against Brentford, we looked really good. And their goal that they scored was very undeserved. The first goal completely against the run of play, which was a bit disappointing because I thought we were playing well, as I said. But first half, I thought we were all right up until the final bit, if you like. We didn't really create any massive chances, although we did create a few that could have been scored inside the box. Second half was a bit different. We were going for the game, and I think Brentford caught us out a bit. I think Tony was good. Every long ball he won. And I think Frank, I didn't think Brentford were great, but I think Frank got it right for the most part.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I see, Tay, if you want to come on, man, DM WestHamOnline, he'll send you the link. No problem. Yeah, I'm saying. Listen, I agree. The other day, fucking hell, I think we all lost our rags the other day. And I was so deflated. Like, literally, we done a space yesterday. I think it was me and you on Twitter. And it was just deflation, really. I feel a lot of people have had enough. And I see people saying about new managers. But the reason why I'm doing this stream tonight is because I want to see why Sullivan is getting a bit of a pass on this one. I think David Sullivan's getting a pass on this one, mate. I don't know what you think. What are you saying?
I think he is a little bit because I think he's scared to pull the trigger on Moyes. Probably, I still think the main two reasons for that is because he's given a lot of money. Well, actually, I think most of it was because we finished in Europe and done so well in Europe. But anyway, we spent a lot of money in the window, and Sullivan doesn't want that to go to waste. And he trusts Moyes because Moyes pretty much saved Sullivan before. So, he's just scared to sack Moyes and make a mistake like he did with Pellegrini, where he hires another expensive manager and we get even worse.
Yeah, I agree. I see people saying about new managers, this man, that man, all the names under the sun. For me, I don't think Sullivan's getting rid of Moyes anytime soon unless it gets unbearable. Unless West Ham are in a relegation zone, bottom of the league, and haven't won a game in 10, then maybe. But I just don't think he's going to get rid of him. Someone said to me the other day on a space, they turned around and said, James, if he stays up this year, he's going to be happy with that, isn't he? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for me, I don't like him anyway, but that's just my own opinion. Blood is now on Sullivan's hands too much. Divery and Dave involved. We made 12 million through the COVID period. One of very few clubs actually made a profit over the last 2 years. Yeah, but we've made profits, but hasn't worked out for us, has it, West Ham Online? Let's be honest.
No. We made a profit, but we've gone downhill since making the profit. Pretty much, it seems we've, over the years, when we actually have done well, like in 15-16 and the last two seasons, we've done it on a limited budget, and it's when we was least expecting it, if you like. Two seasons ago, we thought we were going to go down after we lost 2-0 to Newcastle. A lot of people thought we were going to go down, and we ended up coming sixth.
Yeah, I just want to get Taylor's comment. I like Taylor, even though he's been a Moyes in man for a long time. I do like him. In hindsight, James, you was probably right about sacking before the international break, when a new manager could have had 6 weeks. I just don't see it, Taylor, mate. I just don't. Not now. I don't. If you'd have asked me 6 weeks ago, the time was then to get rid of him. Like you get him out the door, bring a new man in. Like, the Arsenal game's a free hit. If he loses the Arsenal game, like, it's a free hit. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? and then the Brentford game would have been the game where he would have probably imposed himself as a manager, whoever it would have been. We're at a crossroads, and we discussed it yesterday, didn't we? West Ham on the space that if do we stick with him and hope this works out, or do we get rid of him now before it's too late, sort of thing? What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I saw a tweet from Claret and Booze where they said Forest were really good, and that's another worry. I think Forest will be fine. I think we'll come above Forest. But in terms of our overall position, it's not out of the question that we could go down. Like, let's face it, we do keep losing at the moment. So he probably, he does deserve to go at the moment. He's just got credit in the bank. And if he didn't have that credit in the bank, then he probably would have gone about 6 weeks ago. Yeah,
I agree. Even Terry says it here, because I'm going to read people's comments there. So if anyone doesn't want to come on, their comments are going to be read out. Our set plays are shite now. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Do you think Kadinsky's... What was that? It just jumped on me. Do you think Kadinsky is that much involved? I reckon he, as a businessman, if he writes off his investment as a loss, he has no real affection for us. I don't think this is on Kadinsky, mate. I really don't. Listen, I've said this so many times, yeah? I think Kadinsky wanted Moyes out before the World Cup. I've always said that. From minute one, right? I think he wanted Moyes to go. It's Sullivan who's keeping him here. So Sullivan has the final say. Let's all remember that. Yeah, Sullivan's the majority share holder at West Ham United, so he has the final say on it. And I just don't. There's a reason why he's not doing it. I think I know the reason why is because he's setting up in 2023, which is now. And why would he don't want to put no more money into West Ham and give West Ham a brand spanking new manager on a big contract, which is going to lose him money? I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Right, we've got a few. Let's get this man in, this famous man on Twitter. Yeah, if you don't know who L is, you will do when you hear his voice. That is Sir Daddy. Take it away, Sir Daddy. What do you want to say? Sir Daddy, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to unmute. My bad.
Go ahead, mate. What do you want to say, son?
I was just going to say, first off, I hope both of you had a good New Year's.
Mate, I'll have a better New Year if we win some games at West Ham United Football Club. But that's
true. Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
With the Moyes thing, there's just one thing I don't understand. So, after the Leicester game, so there were the reports out that they were going to give Moyes 3 games to save his job. Right. And then the Arsenal, Brentford, and Leeds game, we've lost 2 of those, and the thing seems to have changed where what confuses me is we're not even talking to someone in case he doesn't change it. So we don't even have someone lined up. So they don't even care if we keep losing. Most smart clubs, if we're going downhill, they're gonna talk to other managers just in case. We're not doing that.
What do you reckon on that, West Ham Online? Right? Do you reckon West Ham are talking to other managers? I don't think they are, mate. I really don't. I've got no. I really don't think they are talking to anyone. Because I think they would have done it already. I think they would have had a plan in place for the Arsenal and Brentford game, and then if the Brentford game would have fell on his arse, then I think he would have been gone yesterday. We see Nicky get sort of trolled the other day, but when that come out yesterday evening, right, about him getting a sack, I knew it was fake. I knew 100% it was fake because this board will not get rid of him, right, unless it's last ditch. Do you know what I mean? And then we will get someone in to save us. Basically, it would be more to save us than to benefit us.
And then another thing is, if we do replace him, we're not going to pay anyone. It's going to be someone who doesn't have a job. It will be like Sean Dyche. If we eventually sack him, we're going to get someone like Sean Dyche.
Yeah, I hear you, man. West Ham on.
I just think the board. I do agree with what Sir Daddy and what you have said. And I don't think the board would go to another club and try and pay out for a manager, if that makes sense. I think they'd want someone who's unemployed. So basically a question of who's the best unemployed manager, and the board will probably make the excuse that there's no one.
Yeah, but do you think, though, before I ask Sir Daddy another question, do you think that in regards of them, they are looking at this and saying, well, we're selling up in 2023. Like, we're selling up in like the summer, let's just say. Why are we going to put more money, especially Sullivan, not so much gold. I think gold's had enough. He wants to retire. Why would Sullivan want to put more money into the club when he's about to sell it? It just makes no sense, does it? Like, you want to stick to what you got. Like, someone said it the other day, naming no names on Twitter, yeah? And I make the person right. He does talk a lot of cobblers sometimes, but on this one, he does talk a lot of sense. And the other day, he turned around and said, like, there's no way that he can see them getting red unless West Ham are actually fighting for their lives to stay in the league. If West Ham get relegated, it ruins West Ham completely because that's all our players are gone. Like, the fans will continue to come, but it's like a reset. So it's a worry. What do you reckon on that, West Ham Online, before I ask Sir Daddy?
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. 100%.
I
So,
think
Daddy,
in the window is possibly offers a loan signing or something like that. A couple loan signings. Ask around Europe for good loan players.
About this window, I saw today we're reportedly favorites to sign Michael Keane from Everton. I swear, if he's the only player we sign, we are finito, and it's probably going to be because Dawson's leaving. He's going to leave, so we're going to bring in Michael Keane on loan to replace him.
Is a worry. Anything else, Daddy, that you want to let your steam off some?
I want to what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the last game. Like what you guys were. Yeah. I agree. We started out good, but then we concede and we capitulate. Like, and then the crossing we're crossing hope. We never go through the middle. Like, we cross it into nobody.
Right.
And it's like so frustrating. Like, you're gonna cross and hope, but nothing's ever gonna happen. That's why we don't score.
Very true, mate. Very true. We're crossing it into no man's land every 5 minutes against Brentford. We had no chance of scoring. No chance of scoring a goal. So, Daddy, I'll let you go.
Okay.
All right, take it easy, man. All the best.
Yep.
Right, I want to get this man on because there's another man I do like. Kane, talk to me.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Nice one. What was you talking about? So I was playing FIFA.
Basically, listen, right. Why is Moyes still here? Is this more on Moyes now, or is it becoming Sullivan for you?
Well, you know, I back him, don't I? So
yeah,
I guess then it's on the board, isn't it? Because they're backing him.
100%.
I don't think there's anyone they can get realistically because of the position we're in as well. They're considering that. People say like a Tedesco or something like that, but we get that in. That's a big risk. We can go down that way. Whereas they think with Moyes, he'll grind it out and keep us up. And I guess right now at this point in time, it's just about staying up.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. So I literally, the more I think about it, the more I think he's here. He ain't going nowhere, mate. Like, not with Sullivan in charge. I think if Kalinski's in charge, he's gone. Completely gone.
Yeah, I wonder what he's saying about it. Because you don't hear nothing about him. Does he even really care? Is he just in the background somewhere else?
I think he wants him out, mate. I think he's the one pushing for him to get out, and Sullivan's saying no. Because listen, we do the spaces, and you come on the spaces, and you speak well. And at the end of the day, why would you get rid of a manager right now? Yeah, if he keeps us in the league, they're happy with that. Isn't it? Yeah. Right. Let's be honest. Yeah. So, their ambition really is to keep us in the league at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, people say that we're not that we ain't going to go down. I wouldn't like to back us to stay up at the minute. Not the way we're playing. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm nervous.
But I do worry about some of these players. Like, I'm not having Skamaka and Paqueta in a fucking relegation battle. I don't think they got the chops for it. And a lot of the players that kept us up are a few years older now, aren't they? So it could be a bit worrying. I still think we'll stay up. Like, I think we'll be fine. Yeah. But I might be deluded. I'm quite a deluded fan.
We need to get 4 nails back in the team.
I agree with. I do agree with Kane on that. West Ham Online about Skamaka and Paqueta. Do we need to sit these lads out for a little while and go back to the old guard?
Yeah, it's just whether they sort of have the fire in their belly. Because I remember when Arnautovic was here, first 6 months, it looked like we could be in a relegation battle, and we lost 3-0 to Brighton at home, and he played left midfield, and he was absolutely crap. Second half of the season, he sort of turned into a demon, and he sort of had that, I know, what the kids say nowadays, the dog in him. Brilliant from Arnautovic. But does Scamacca or Paqueta have that? I don't see it personally. I know Scamacca's family have got a past of being quite dodgy, but I don't see the sort of fire in Scamacca's belly to put it in a way.
I don't like to say this, but is Sullivan gambling with West Ham at the minute? Really?
He'd be gambling if he got someone in there, wouldn't he? As well, you could argue that.
Yeah, because what it is really. I know it's only 2 months since the World Cup. Don't get me wrong, but in that 6-week period, you could have done a lot of work in 6 weeks in like regards to the players, everything. Let's be honest, every single thing. And when I look at us now, the Leeds game, if we go down against Leeds, then it's just going to intensify even more, isn't it? Let's be honest. And I do fear for us at the minute. Unless something like we need an ugly win from somewhere, like a 1-0 or something, like just to get us over the line and get us back to winning the game of football. I think
what I think it is the defence, right? Yeah, that defence against Brentford is terrible. So makeshift, and I think that carries through the team. They're playing with no confidence. People say they're not playing for the manager. I think they are. They just got no confidence in themselves whatsoever. I think if we can get Zuma and Aguerd back, it shores things up. It will get him more confident, and we can slowly, gradually grind things out. I think the major thing that fans don't really go on about is that it's the defence. That's the major first issue that we need to fix, that we can fix as well.
Yeah, I actually agree. The first point you made about the manager thing, I keep seeing on Twitter people saying all the players aren't playing for the manager anymore. I disagree with that. I don't really see that at all. I think everyone, apart from maybe Paqueta, is trying, and even Paqueta annoyed at times. Yeah, I think they're all playing for the manager, and
9 out of 11 are playing, aren't they, for a manager? 2 of them are just either not or just really lost.
Yeah. I agree. But what's how you?
Hello.
I think James's internet
is it gone. James? I thought it was me, Kyle, then.
I should be back. I'm back now. Right, I'm back. No, it's what you said the other day, right, about the defence. You are right. He hasn't got his perfect defence, has he? Let's be honest.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And he's asking for makeshift defenders, isn't he?
He's had 11. I think someone said he had 11 different defences this season. That's just a mess. That's like, what can he do at some point? And I think when you get loads of bad results, it just seeps in. Like that Brentford game, we looked quite confident, didn't we, for the first bit? As soon as they scored, we just knocked back a bit, and they scored the second. We got knocked back. It's just a confidence thing. It's mainly a confidence thing. Yeah.
What do you reckon? Before I let you go, Kane, what do you reckon on Wednesday?
I don't know. They're not. It depends what Leeds turn up. They weren't very good against Newcastle. I didn't really watch it. They weren't really good against Newcastle, but Chris Wood just had an absolute stinker or something. So maybe we can use that and sneak a draw probably.
Yeah. What do you reckon, West Ham Online? Before I let Kane go, draw Wednesday.
I keep predicting us to get results, but every match we go in, we just seem to be getting beat quite comfortably scoreline wise. So, I think we'll lose.
We need Aguerd in his team, mate.
Yeah,
we need Aguerd.
Was he back for Wednesday, or was that just? He should be, shouldn't he? Actually, he was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Yeah,
he has to start Wednesday. Like, even if you get an hour out of him, just get him on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He has to do something. But Kane, I'll let you go, man. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
All the best.
Worries.
Thank you, Sir Daddy, by the way, for the $2.
Let's get this man on. He's been waiting. Gatesy, how are you doing, my friend?
A happy New Year to you, gentlemen, and to everybody that's watching.
Yeah, happy New Year to you, mate. Listen, before I get started, anyone who hasn't already done so, go over and subscribe to Falls from Irons for me, please. I really would appreciate it.
Do that with their crap.
Yeah, I know, but so are West Ham at the minute.
Well, there you
Fucking
go.
matter.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Gazy, tell me what's going wrong at West Ham at the minute.
How long you got?
About 3 hours.
No, it's an absolute shambles. I mean, listen, I'll state my case. I wanted Moyes gone after the Leicester game. And I say that with a heavy heart because I do appreciate everything that he's done for us in terms of it getting us out of relegation twice, getting us, 6th place, 7th place in consecutive Premier League seasons, getting us to a European semi-final. Thank you very much. But everything has its time. Everything must pass. And I just sort of, it's... I mean, I was there the other night at the Brentford game, and it's just that the atmosphere was dead. Nobody, the fans, I think, just couldn't give a shit really because they just got to the point where it's like, well, like you guys have said, he's probably not going anywhere, not anytime soon. I think that, I think the Leeds game, I think he's got the Leeds game, and unless we get absolutely smashed in that game and humiliated, I think he's probably got the cup game as well against Brentford. So I'm just like, I don't know, mate. As I say, it shouldn't be like this because, as I say, there's that part of me that's like, look, I appreciate what he's done for the club, but like I say, right now we're stinking the place out. He can't say that he wasn't backed. He was given 180 million quid, which he has wasted. Absolutely wasted. Paqueta doesn't look like he can pass a ball properly. He's got Scamacca. He's completely destroyed his confidence. We've got a back line. I mean, I think we've got the highest average age of anyone in the Premier League, or I think we're one of the oldest squads at the very least. I mean, it's and he spoke not so long ago about implementing the Red Bull model and getting in younger players and doing this, doing that. And yet with that 180 million quid, we've got the oldest average squad in the Premier League. So how does that equate? I don't get it.
Do you feel, Rob, that because what Kane just said previous. Now I do the spaces with Kane and a few of the other lads, and Kane did bring it up the other day, and I do make Kane slightly right on this one. He's got a defence there that he's using as a makeshift. Like Kehrer is like shocking at centre half, like he really is, and it's like square pegs in round holes for him. Right, that's the only thing I can give him as a bit of a sort of rope to sort of dangle. The rest of it, I totally agree with you. Like systems wrong, players are personnel all over the place. Where has it gone wrong though? Like, because for me, this has been going on for the last 12 months. Like, it come out today, like the Crystal Palace game a year ago today. We was all like watching the Crystal Palace game. We win the game 3-2, and then since that game, we've won like literally 12 in 2022.
I don't think he's a very good manager of people, James. I don't think he's a very good manager of people, and I think that the big clue for me was when Alex Crowell came out. Now, I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that Alex Crowell was like the next Steven Gerrard or anything like that. But to actually for him to come out and say what he said, where he was literally screaming, crying, whatever it was, in the car after training pretty much every day. And let's not forget, he's got two of his close mates that are in the squad right now. That's not, you just stop and think about if you was going to work, you boys or anybody in the live chat, you was going to work and you was working with a mate who was getting treated like that by your manager, you're not exactly going to bust a gut for that manager going forwards, are you? If you know that he's basically sort of making your mate's life hell, you're not going to have any respect for him. You're not going to have any willingness to run through brick walls for that guy.
I agree, and it proves it with Ben Rama, mate. But listen, we've all had debates on Ben Rama. I've had many debates with Duke and Rob about Benny, but I think it proves it really over the last sort of 6 months that
he's
even
been one of our better players this season. There's no doubt about that. I mean, yes, you can turn around and say about his end product. Does he score enough goals? Does he create enough goals? Blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
he has a go. I mean, at the minute we got Bowen who on the other flank, who since he's obviously got linked with Liverpool and all the rest of it, doesn't look like he's having a go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, where is that version of Jared Bowen gone? He's been linked with Liverpool and he's got an England cap, and all of a sudden he looks like dog shit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree there. Could not agree any more on that. Sort of round it up with you, Rob, before I let you go. What do you reckon on Wednesday?
With regret, I think we get beat.
Yeah.
With regret, I think we get beat because I just think. Listen, the Leeds United fans will. I mean, did you boys see the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game a little bit earlier?
I heard about it.
No.
I heard about it. Yeah, Forest
didn't
had a
actually
right
watch
go
it.
at Chelsea, big time. Could have won the
They
game.
did. And I asked a question in a chat that I'm on where it was. What was it? I said, can you see when we play Chelsea at London Stadium, if we go 1-0 down in the first half, can you see us doing what Nottingham Forest did today? I can't.
Nah.
Not just in terms of, because I mean one part that played its part was the support, the crowd. I was very impressed with the support from the Nottingham Forest fans. Credit to them there, and I was actually at the game that we played at the City Ground earlier this season. Took my daughter there, and we lost 1-0. We could and should have won that game 4-1, but the fans that day were tremendous. The fans today were tremendous. They spurred the team on, and the team fed off of that. Whereas, it is always a chicken and egg, is it the fans that are supposed to give the players a push? Is it the players that are supposed to give the fans something to cheer about? It is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But at the minute, I can't see anything sparking anything off. I mean, the crowd, like I say, the other night were dead. There's a lot of fans in that ground that are just totally pissed off with David Moyes and don't want him there. So they're not really sort of like full-throated in their support of the team. And that is spreading. That is spreading, and there's a malaise at London Stadium at the minute. And if it carries on, boys, I mean, there's people turning around and saying that, no, we're too good. There are 3 worse teams than us in the Premier League over 38 games. Well, on current form, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't seeing it.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm nervous a little bit on that one. Rob, I really do appreciate you coming on, mate.
Thanks for the invite, mate. You look after yourself, boys. Happy New Year.
Happy
Take
New Year,
care.
Rob.
All the best, man.
See you in a bit.
What do you matter what Rob said there, WestHamOnline, before I bring someone else on?
Yeah, Rob, Gatesy speaks well. I think he's correct in what he's saying. And we're in trouble. And I personally, I don't know whether it's because we're West Ham and I've seen this situation before and we stayed up. But I personally don't think we'll go down. I think we got too much quality. But there's no denying we're certainly in a dogfight. And it's whether we can be a Rottweiler or a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I agree. It is deflating. One thing I will say is very, very deflating of what is going on at West Ham at the minute. Like, I discussed it the other night. I said basically we shouldn't even be contemplating this about relegation or the fault of it.
Yeah.
The word shouldn't even be mentioned at West Ham now, like, especially after the amount of money we've spent. But this is West Ham, and as I've always said, 20 years ago, like, West Ham did go down, and they went down in a way that was terrible, really. Adam, if you're still in the chat here, mate, if you message WestHamOnline on Twitter, he will send you the link, and you can jump on, mate. By all means, you can jump on. Snedden, are you ready, son? I see him there. Sneds, talk to me, mate. What's going on?
I'm good. I just
West Ham.
New Year to start with.
Give me a win, please. That's what I want.
Just to listen to the whole Moyes situation. One thing that's really, I think, holding the team back in terms of Moyes is that it's stubborn. It's not stubbornness, but we see it as stubbornness. What it is, it's the favoritism thing. Like, Ben Rama's literally been saving Moyes' arse, or at least trying to save Moyes' arse for the last few games, and then Moyes is slugging him off a full-time interview saying, he didn't do as much. I'm like, I literally scored, and Ben Rama's like, well, I literally scored a goal in that game. Do you know what I'm saying? I literally try and do something to help and the team out. He's talked about, getting in the right players for the club and everything. I know this summer we spent a lot of money, and that's the thing, we only take that really because we like it when money's spent because the board's not used to doing it. You know, we've seen the board not spend a lot of money. So when we see we've slobbed 51 million on Paqueta, everyone's buzzing about it because it's showing what we would think is ambition. As for the manager, he's working with these flashy players. It doesn't really suit him that much. He never really did it at Everton. You know, he signed players like Joleon Lescott and Tim Cahill from Championship sides. For example, he signed Leighton Baines, I think, from like a Championship team as well, and they kept him on for a long time. He wasn't used to signing anyone glamorous, and now Moyes has finally, then again, got what he wanted, got his recruitment people in, and all these players that he said that we needed to rebuild the team, and then he's not really using them. So it's like you know you're shitting on your own parade in a way, and that's what he's doing. And it's like, what are you doing? You say these things, Moyes, but then you do another. You say play well. Brentford. We didn't.
Is this starting to become though, James? Yeah, is this starting to become more on the ball though now? Because listen, we can all want Moyes out the door, right? I think vast majority of the fan base have had enough of Moyes now. Like there's a small minority that like will back him. Yeah, I think most of us.
Kane backs him, doesn't he?
Right. Well, but fair enough. Right. I can understand the reason why Kane backs him, because who else is there? Like, if you was looking this 6 weeks ago to now, then really it's the ideal move, isn't it? You would have done it 6 weeks ago, like Aston Villa did, like Wolves did when they, you know what I mean? And to go and get someone now to bring him in and we're hoping that they hit the ground running like the drop of a finger, like click of a fingers is poor. So let me ask you this, James: when is it more on the board than Moyes?
When you get into a deep relegation battle and then you turn around and say to him, "Oh well, you should have done it sooner."
Yeah,
that's what it was when you do it, because I think Kretinsky needs to say something, because I think with him, I know he's pumped all that money and I'm grateful for that, but does he actually contribute anything else in the board? Like, say something.
Well, I will say this openly, right? And I've said it a few times. I'll do it by doing this YouTube game. Kretinsky's not happy. He's far from happy.
Yeah.
I believe through people that I know that he wants Moyes out, but Sullivan's holding fire. This is on Sullivan rather than like anyone who's bringing Kretinsky into this situation shouldn't. Because I think if Kretinsky's a money man, the last thing he wants is to be in a relegation fight, because his profit or what he's got for the club goes down. So he would want to he wants to get Moyes out. So this is on Sullivan for me. What do you reckon, WestHamOnline?
I think if what you're saying about the source is true, then
mate.
Obviously it's on Sullivan. If Kretinsky, well, however you say his name, wants Moyes out, then obviously it's not on him, and you're gonna have to probably back Kretinsky's opinion, because he's the one. He's gonna probably become the full-time owner, or when Sullivan and Gold sell up, he'll certainly take a larger stake of the shares. So I think his opinion should be held in high regard, and I don't know why he's been dismissed. And so certainly if there's a mismatch in what the board is thinking, with Sullivan and Gold and Co thinking Moyes in and Kretinsky thinking Moyes out, then I don't know why there should be a board meeting and a decision should be made as soon as possible. But my question for you, Sneddon, obviously the other day we share a chat, me, you, James, etc., and you described yourself as an angry man. If you were in that dressing room right now, who would you be directing your anger towards?
I don't really believe in collective punishment, to be honest with you. I would say I'll be directing just my anger at the team for just not learning. You know, you make the same mistakes week in, week out. Okay, fair. Against Brentford, Moyes did do something different with the team lineup. Fair. Okay. I can't really find something different. It worked for about 15 minutes. But I would be saying to people like Scamacca, you're saying you need time to settle. That is not really an excuse right now, because you've had a few months and we've been played and you've been starting. You didn't need to settle when you were playing in the Conference League. You were playing like a free spirit in that and scoring goals. Why are you not doing it in the team right now? I say to Paqueta, you're worth £51 million. There's a lot of pressure on you to shake off that price tag. I get it. You're playing in a different country. I get it. All these things. Loads of other players come from abroad and play in England, and they adapt quicker than others. I get sometimes it's hard to settle in, but you don't have time to find your feet. You need to crack on right now. I've been saying to just defence, you're making weak errors at the back. We're getting skimmed on the side all the time. And I just tell everyone, just realise the situation you're in and work hard even harder in training and prove why you should be starting. Prove why you should be. If you don't, what I'd do if I were the manager, I'm going to set you some work to do at home to make you ready for these, even more prepared. We're going to keep track of how much you're doing because we'll give you monitors. And then when you come to the game one before the kickoff, we'll check it. If you haven't met the expectation we've set you for you, we'll fine you and you won't play. Because right now we don't need passengers and people who coast. We just want people who are going to be committed to the course right now to get us out of this mess. So everyone's, cruel to be kind. Call me harsh, but if you're not going to stand up and fight for your right, then don't be here.
Yeah, I agree. James, quickly, son. Prediction for Wednesday.
We're playing against a team that knows how to press. They press Man City. Is our defense going to cope with that press? No. Is our midfield going to be compact enough? No. I don't know, really. We're playing against a Leeds team. Okay, Leeds isn't in a good position right now, but it's playing all right. It's playing all right football. It's not been shit. Okay, it lost against Man City, but, well, that's Man City. You can't really write off of that. I'm nervous to go up there because we're playing against a team that's close to us that we've got to beat, and we lose, we're in even more danger. Always what I will say is I want Fornals to have an involvement in this game at some point. In fact, I think he should be playing in this kind of game.
Why he's not playing in this team, and this is coming from me, and I've never been his biggest fan. Yeah, why he's not playing, I don't know. I don't get it. Right, score prediction, James, for Wednesday. Before I let you go.
West Ham win 2-1, but not in a pretty way.
Fair enough, James. Thanks a lot, man. Take it easy. All the best, man. Right, let's get this man on. Adam, finally got you on here, mate. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm all right, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, lovely. I was going to say, I've been watching your channel for a while. I was going to say, I really liked it. My question's more about the transfers, I think.
Right.
And I think Scamacca and Paqueta must be looking at our team thinking, what on earth has happened here? Why have they come here?
But are they being right? What's the best way of describing this? Before they come to West Ham, they was good players, and now they're at West Ham. They're becoming shocking. And it just ain't the first time that's happened. There's been a few other times when other players have been in that same bracket. Do you know what I'm saying? Why do you think it's gone wrong then?
I think it's gone wrong just because I think when I'm looking at the games, for me personally, it doesn't feel like a team anymore. It feels like a bunch of individuals. Plus, it feels like we're playing the same system over and over again. And we're just getting figured out too easily, much too easily. My thing with Moyes is, I think it was the Palace game. That was the game for me when I was like, okay, now it's time to go. That is it. But I watching Gio's video earlier and him saying that the fact that we have not not even looked for a new manager, just keep with Moyes. It's shocking. It really is.
Yeah. But when does this become a bold problem though? Because for me, right, I'll say this for everyone in the chat. I really do appreciate the 108 people I've got watching tonight also. I look at it like this. This is on Sullivan now. Because I think, from what I've heard, Kadinsky's not happy and he wants him gone, right? Because Kadinsky's put a lot of money into the club and he's probably looking at it and thinking, the way he's going, we could get relegated and he loses a big chunk of dough. And one thing with Kadinsky, Kadinsky, he don't like to lose money. Do you know what I mean? He's a businessman. So I look at Sullivan and I think, when do you start turning your attention from not David Moyes to Sullivan and saying Sullivan is the man really who's keeping him here and dictating the play?
But I think a lot of us feel like that anyway. I think
Yeah.
we all said that Moyes needs to go before the World Cup. 6
Yeah.
weeks to get a new manager in. I know people have had different thoughts on different managers, but I think Sullivan, he trusts him so much because of what he's done. And I think that's generally the reason why he won't get rid of him. I think Sullivan has, which I don't understand personally, because obviously they're here till April. They want to get rid of it. I just don't think they give a shit, and it is worrying. I'm actually worried now. I've had a couple of conversations with a couple of friends of mine. One, the response I hear all the time is, "Oh, don't worry, we'll be fine. We'll win the Conference League." That is what I keep hearing all the time.
Yeah,
and there are still some bloody good teams in that competition, from Villarreal, Braga, Fiorentina, etc. But I am generally worried because even Leeds, I'm no confidence whatsoever. I've got none left.
Yeah. I agree. I really do agree with you, mate. I felt like that after the Brentford game, and it showed on the video. Like the video pinged in it like 1,300 people. Like I weren't happy against Brentford because as I said on the video, I've seen this story one too many times. And when West Ham drop, they drop like bad, and just like and. Now I feel like if West Ham don't score first, West Ham's not getting anything out of the game. Like that's how I feel at the minute. Like I can't see West Ham scoring 2 goals at the minute. Like they're struggling to score 1 goal, then on 2. So West Ham Online, what do you think of what Adam's just said?
No, I completely agree with Adam. I think he's made some good points. I just think we're in a situation now where if we don't. If that's true, what Gio has said, that we're not even looking at replacements, then Moyes isn't going to go even if we lose to Leeds. And if he does go, then that's horrendous organisation, because if we've not got a replacement lined up, or if we're not even looking at people, then we're going to have a caretaker manager for a few weeks, which probably won't improve anything. And then we're gonna have to rush to get a manager, which means we might make the wrong decision. I don't have any faith in the board's football knowledge as it is, so I don't think they'll know how to replace him. I think they'll probably ask Jack Sullivan who he fancies. So I think we should be looking at replacements now and preparing ourselves, because you've got to prepare for every scenario, and that's how a good business model works. So I don't know how David Gold and David Sullivan have become successful businessmen throughout their career, because their planning is shocking.
Even after Leeds, though, I am not confident that he'll go. I think he'll still be here. I generally don't think he'll leave. I think
the only time
after the Leeds game.
I think the only time it gets unbearable is if West Ham are bottom of the league and say we get cut adrift, like say 4 points or something adrift. That's when they would have to act.
The 2 games. Sorry, James.
I see this story about 12 years ago when they arrived. GSB, they had a choice to make then when they arrived with Avram Grant in 2010, Christmas 2010. I said it on the show the other day. Yeah, we lost against Arsenal 3-1 at home, and the football was a fucking horrendous, absolute appalling. Yeah, and they had a choice to make then. They backed Grant to the end of the season, and Grant got us relegated. He got us relegated. So
yeah,
it's not good at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And I'm with you on this one. I really am. I'm fearing us at the minute, big time. Unless something drastically changes, and we can nick a result from somewhere. I think we're just going to keep going and going until either he goes or something just changes. Like we get a run of luck or something. Do you know what I mean?
The 2 games that worry me the most are Everton and Wolves. Those 2 especially. If we lose them, I'm like I'm so worried. I just have to laugh because it's just, for me, I'm past the anger stage. It just feels depressing at the minute, and I think that's how a lot of people feel. I just one more quick question, if that's all right, James.
Go ahead, mate.
It was just about the transfers in the summer. A question I usually like to ask people: who's been the most surprising transfer in your eyes? Because I think you look at down the list, you think Skamaka, he had a couple of good games, but then he's just sort of fallen off. Paqueta, for me, doesn't look like he wants to be there, in my opinion. Emerson, he's just sort of there. He's okay, but he doesn't feel like any impact at all for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of all the ones that we got as well.
Well, for me,
still sitting on the bench.
For me, like I think the best signing West Ham's made this season, and the man sitting on the bench, is Flynn. I think Flynn's a good player. I really do. I think for the money we paid for him, and I like Flynn. Flynn gets stuck in, right? And there's a lot to be said about being a West Ham man, right? Because one thing he will do is, he will give it 150% every game because he's one of us. But it's who has been really a good signing this year. Paqueta, for me, has been a bit of a disappointment. He really has. Skamaka, I feel for Skamaka a little bit because he looks lost. I look at him on the pitch. He looks lost, West Ham online. He does. Kera looks awful, but then Kera's not playing in his natural position. Who else is there? Areola sits on the bench for. He's on 100. Cornet's. It's just. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
But the thing is with Skamaka, I've just seen Jeff Eldon tweet a video when Lanzini's great goal against Palace a year ago today, where Rice runs through the middle. And Antonio makes a great run where he drags out the central defender for Lanzini to go into the space. I've never seen Skamaka do that. He sort of just stands there. And
one thing you have said to me, you are right. Every time a ball goes in, he don't look like he's going to win an header to score a goal.
No,
like he don't look like that sort of person who's going to throw his entire body on it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
He acts like a pretty boy, really. Like he just doesn't want to get hurt. Do you know what I'm saying? So
we can
that's
say
the
he
thing.
gets no service, but then as well, does he try? It doesn't feel like it. I think it goes both ways for me.
It does, mate. It does. Jack, if you're Elton, if you're in the chat, message West Ham online. Come on, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about this because you've been saying about tactics for a long time. I'll be interested to know what you think. So yeah, Jack, if you're still here, jump on, mate. Adam, before I let you go, prediction for Wednesday, please, mate.
Bloody hell. Honestly, I have a bad feeling we'll lose 1-0.
Yeah.
I just can see it coming. I've got no confidence, James. Yeah. So I don't know I just can't see where we're going to get points from. Wolves is probably the only potentially one I can actually see us maybe getting something in. But apart from
me, I think if we can get a Guerd in this team, we might have half a chance of getting something out of the game. Not saying we're going to win the game, but we might have half a chance of getting a draw out of the game. We need something. He needs. What I want to see on Wednesday is just attack leads, right? Like because they are poor at set pieces, right? They can be got at. Right? They was one of the weakest teams last year for set pieces. Do you know what I mean? And we need to be good at balls in the box. And if you have to go 2 up front or go 4-3-3, bring 4 nails in, or just don't go 5 at the back. That's what I'm going to say. It just don't work. Like it works for a little while.
Rice, Downs, and 4 nails in the middle.
If it was me, I'd have Rice, Paqueta, and 4 nails. That'd be my 3. I don't understand. Listen, and I'm not 4 nails' biggest fan, and West Ham Online knows this for a fact. But even I can say this openly. Yeah. Where is he? Where the hell is he? Like he's not even getting on the pitch and given any minutes now. Like really, he come on the other day against Arsenal for 4 minutes, or 5 minutes, or whatever it was. What can he do in that time? Can't do nothing.
Make subs too late.
Unless I'm Moyes at the end of the day. Adam, I'll let you go, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
I do appreciate it. No worries, mate. All the best. Next up is this man, and he's been a staunch Moyes in person, and that is East Anglia Irons. Gordon Bennett. I knew he had turned up. East Anglia Irons, Moyes, talk to me. If you're there, unmute yourself. He's not there, is he? West Ham Online, is he there or not?
I can't hear him.
Yeah. He'll be back. What do you make of what Adam said? West Ham Online.
He talked sense. I think everyone who's come on so far has talked sense. It's good to hear from different people as well. I think the main thing that he said was what, as I've already mentioned it, but if that is true that they're not looking at replacements and all the focus is on Moyes, then that's worrying. And I don't know how they've succeeded in business if they're just so single-minded, if you like, because you need to approach every situation with numerous outlooks and consider all the problems, and they just haven't.
Yeah, I agree. Like, listen, I look at it like this, and Tay said it in the chat there. Is it parallels? West Ham 58. Thank you very much, mate. Happy New Year to you too, sir. Is there parallels with previous relegations? This does remind me a fucking lot of 2010, 2011 season. A hell of a lot. Like, just waiting and waiting and waiting. And, like, on paper, West Ham have got the talent. There's no two ways about it. When you look at the team and the players and, like, international players, they've got all the talent in the world. But they haven't got that one thing they haven't got is the right manager to lead the talent, in my opinion. Would that change with a better defence? Maybe, because then if you've got two ball playing sort of players at the back like Zuma and Aguerd, then West Ham can push further up the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and we might be more deadly in the final third. But at present, I'm not seeing anything West Ham online. I really ain't.
No, I agree. We have got talent, but talent only gets you so far. It's the famous quote. Talent without hard work is nothing. And the player that keeps springing into my mind is Pablo Fornals. He's put so many good performances in for West Ham. And I think everyone's starting to see why I was such a big fan of his. Yes, his shooting is horrendous. Yes, he can flatter to deceive at times. But honestly, he's so key because his movement is selfless. He works so hard for the team. And at the end of the day, in big games, he was producing. There's so many examples I can give. We beat Chelsea 3-2. He started the move for the goal for Yarmolenko's goal. He got the assist for Leon away last year and was brilliant. He got the assist Sevilla at home.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate, but why do you think Moyes has just cast him out?
Because I think the main reason is Ben Rama came into the team and the fans, I think he sort of knows that the fans think he's treated Ben Rama unfairly. And Ben Rama's been getting goals and assists and stuff this year. And he just won't take him out. And for some reason, Moyes, even though Pablo Fornals isn't even a winger, Moyes refuses to play Pablo anywhere but on the wing. So, yeah, it's a weird one.
You think it's Benny? I don't think it is Benny, mate. For me, to be honest, I don't think it's Ben Rama that he would get shipped out. I think it's Paqueta. 100%. I think Paqueta. If you took, I think Paqueta took Fornals' place because Benny. Yeah, I do, mate. I do. And when I look at Paqueta, right, and I look at the money we're paid for him, and I look, and people say he needs time to bed in. I'm thinking, well, how much fucking time does this man need, right? And it ain't just the basics. It's some of the things that he's doing are borderline criminal. Like, you wouldn't do that in a 11-a-side on a Sunday afternoon. Like, he's holding the ball for too long. He's waiting for 2 or 3 players to be around him, literally, like, before he releases the ball. He's there's a player there, but is he the right player for us? I just don't. I personally don't know. I really don't. Let's get him back in. East Anglia Irons.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate.
Lovely, cool.
You have backed Moyes. You've said a lot of things in regards to Moyes on Twitter and social media. Yes. Talk to me about it.
Well, I have to say, every single day goes past, and I urge closer to the Moyes outside of it. I will admit that, but it's really tricky because, I mean, people would debate Paqueta and Rice, but at the end of the day, Rice is going to leave at the end of the season. So we need someone to build a team around, and I think Paqueta's probably going to be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Moyes is probably the right guy to continue with us after this season. If he keeps us up this season, we don't have any say in it at the end if he stays. if we win the Conference League with him, it'll be a nice way to say cheerio, let's get a new guy in. But it's not going to be Moyes next season, is it? Especially if the club gets sold.
Why do you think Moyes is still here? Honestly,
because Sullivan doesn't like to sack managers. I don't think. I think he's quite opposed to it.
Oh, well, thing is, would he be the first man in history to sack the same man twice? Like the same owner second.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I've never seen that before.
Jose at Chelsea. Did he get sacked twice?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, under a Brennan-Bridge. Yeah, so
yeah,
that's not a bad stat. Where do you see us going on Wednesday in regards to the Leeds game? Obviously, a lot of fans have come on here tonight, speak well, every single one of them. And for how bad things are getting, we are a passionate bunch, but some of us fans have just had enough of this situation. And we feel, or I ain't going to speak for, I'll speak for myself, I won't speak for everyone else, but I feel personally that he's here for the rest of the season. I don't think he's going anywhere, mate. Yeah, I really do.
Not unless something really drastic happens.
I think it would have to be literally like absolute unbearable. Like if we get smacked up against Leeds and beaten by, I think the Everton and Wolves game, he could go.
Yeah.
But if West Ham, just for argument's sake, West Ham take 4 points from them 2 games, I think the board are happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I really do.
Yeah, 100%. I also think that if we're not playing in Europe now till March, so if we just get knocked out of the Conference League and then we're in this relegation zone, I think they'll probably have enough of it. I think they might get rid of him if we get knocked out of Europe early. That's another thing that they'll need to consider as well.
So what you're saying for Wednesday?
I think that we will be lucky to get a draw. Although I do think that our performances have warranted more than we've got this season, because I had a little look at all the games we played earlier and looked at what our performances deserved if we were more clinical, if we actually scored our penalties, if VAR decisions were given correctly, we'd be 7th. I'm convinced we'd be 7th if that was all taken. So a lot of it has been unlucky, but I think that we'll probably get a draw with Leeds 1-1.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would just like to see a Gerd back. Do you know what I mean?
We need him back, mate. Even if you get an hour out of the geezer, just get him on the pitch. Like we need the geezer in this side. East Anglia Irons, thanks for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
No worries, mate. Take it easy. Next man up is this man who I do like. Respect this geezer's opinion a hell of a lot. Right, Ib, how you doing, man? If you're there, unmute your mic.
Ibby?
Right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, man.
Yeah, how's it going, boys?
Talk to me, mate. What the hell's going on with all us lot? Right, I've had some good callers on tonight, I must admit. And me and West Ham Live, I've enjoyed this one, I must admit. But one opinion I do like is yours. What are you saying?
Not too much, mate. I mean, what can you say? I mean, obviously, the defeat against Brentford on Friday was another dagger to the heart. But I don't know. I've had a bit of a think about it, and I've actually watched some other games over the weekend, and I think we'll be fine. To be fair, I'm still not worried about relegation. As crazy as it sounds, I'm not really that worried about relegation. I'm just a bit disheartened that we've lost 5 games, and when you lose 5 games, it just becomes more bleak and more bleak in terms of your personal confidence. But I mean, I don't really know, to be fair. I mean, is there any particular topic that you wanted to talk about? Or?
Well, basically, that's all right, mate. No worries. Best way of summing this up is why is Moyes still here? Right? Is this more on the board now rather than David Moyes? I keep seeing people saying about getting Moyes out, which I make them right, but is no one really looking at the ownership of the club and the little man in the fucking boardroom? Like, is no one really looking at Sullivan here and saying, "Well, Sullivan, why are you not getting rid of him?"
Also, Ib said to me earlier, Ibby sent me a text. Me and Ibby were discussing Moyes, as you know, we always like putting that picture out. He said, I've genuinely been in depth thinking about 2023, and I believe it's the comeback year for Mr. Moyes and West Ham.
Well,
and
I don't know.
I'm genuinely not even. I'm not even lying when I say that as well. I've had a thing. And I look back at his Everton days. I look back at the good old stats, and I'm not even lying when I say this. It's actually crazy because his third full season at Everton, they had a stinker after buying a few players as well. And I do believe he's. How can David Moyes go from one of the most elite managers in the country to now everyone taking a piss out of him? That makes me sad because I don't think he's lost it, and he's constantly talking about him. He thinks the best years are ahead of him, and I believe him as well. And I don't know why. I just feel like 2023. I'm just a personal feeling inside that we're going to have a good 2023. I've got a really good feeling about it. And I know people. All of a sudden, people watching Aston Villa today, and all of a sudden they've started moaning. I mean, to be honest, if you saw that first half, it was probably worse than our first half against the second half against Brentford. It was that bad. They just did nothing going forward. And then second half, they managed. It was all Lloris's fault. Their first goal, and then Villa's second goal was just a good bit of quality when Spurs are chasing the game. So, to be honest, I see Unai Emery in a nice Hugo Boss jacket on the touchline, and just because, obviously Mr. Moyes, he doesn't dress as fancy as that, and I feel like our fans are just desperate for someone now who wears sort of a fancy bit of clothing on the touchline, and they want this like beautiful tiki taka football and expansive football. But let's be honest, that's what Moyes is trying to transition into. I've actually watched games back over the weekend that we've played this season. I can see what we're trying to do in terms of transitioning, but some of the main components of that system are injured. Cornet, Agerd, Zuma. I mean, I think it's not all on David Moyes this season. I really don't. There's got to be a bit. There's.
You got on. But when do you start worrying? Yeah, but when do you start worrying, though, Ib? When do you start looking at this and going, this is not working? Like, because let's be honest, the Leeds game is massive. It's massive now because then the next two games after that is Wolves away and Everton at home. Like, we'll be competing with teams around us then, and we've got to make sure we take points off them. So when does it become a problem for you?
Yeah.
I think. Okay, I think that I don't think that David Moyes survives the Leeds if we lose. Even if we lost 1-0 and we dominate the game and we got hit on the counter attack, I think we get sacked if we do lose. I think the board, they're the biggest bullshitters in the world. So them saying that Moyes is fully, they're saying that Moyes is fully back is bullshit. I'm not. They're definitely looking at people behind the scenes who don't have that information, and that's not anyone's fault. That's just the board keeping it quiet. But the main thing I've got to say is if we lose to Leeds, that's when I think we could be in catastrophic trouble this season. I think the Brentford game, we were a little bit unlucky. I think the second half was poor. The confidence, our heads went down, but at the same time.
So what do you reckon so give me your prediction for Wednesday night then. What you reckon?
Can I hear your twos first?
I think if Aguerd is in this team, we will get a positive result.
I agree if Aguerd plays, but I have a funny feeling that and I'm not talking about a comedian, I have a funny feeling that he won't, and I think we'll lose again.
Right. I think if Aguerd plays, when we go for, and we're going to have to go for against Leeds, because Leeds are going to press us. Someone said it earlier on, and they're absolutely
which might suit us.
Yeah, and we might have to play on the counter against this team. Yeah, so like get Aguerd in, and I reckon we can get something at the game. Maybe if we can win the game, great. I will take a draw right now just to stop this rot.
No, I think it's 3 points or bust for David Moyes on Wednesday. I think we have to win that game.
Hopefully,
for me, it's 3 points or bust for David Moyes. And at the end, if
Ib, you've got out. Ib,
he'll be back. He'll be back. He's in there. It's probably cut out. What do you make of what Ibby was saying?
Oh, Ibby's brilliant. I'm not sure about the 2023 thing. Personally, I don't see Moyes making a comeback, but I hope Ibby's right. And I think we need to, as I said the other day on Twitter, we need to back the lads. And if the board aren't going to sack Moyes, And then we need to get behind the team because there's not a lot we can do. Like, keep complaining won't. We can keep criticising what's going on, but complaining at the games and making the atmosphere negative won't really do anything. We need to get behind the team until we hear differently from the board.
Yeah. One thing I will agree with you on is that I think like this stops becoming a David Moyes problem and starts looking at them. So, Ib, what are you saying for Wednesday? Give me your prediction.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but to be honest, the 2023 prediction from me, I must confess, it's not out of hope, but it's out of what I've seen in the past, and it's genuinely the fact that it's 2023, it's a brand new year. I'm sure. I think if I was David Moyes, I'd get on a training field, get all the players together, and have a massive huddle, and just speak, have some home truths on the genuine training pitch, and I'm being serious as well. Like, just have a conversation, be honest with ourselves. I think Lucas Paqueta should come out and say, look, I don't think I've been good enough so far. Skamaka should say I haven't been good enough. I think there's certain other players that need to say that, look, I'll be honest, I haven't been good enough, but now we work towards an improvement. And to be honest, on Wednesday, I genuinely fancy West Ham to win. I think their midfield isn't a physical midfield like the Brentford midfield was. Look, like we got out-muscled in that midfield against Brentford. I feel like they haven't really got a very strong spine. So I would be tempted to play Fornals and Paqueta ahead of Declan Rice, and then play Benrahma, Bowen on either side of. And I don't mean this is a bad thing towards Kamaka, but I'd rather just play Antonio.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually agree. Like when you said about Fornals, I think we need this geezer in the team. Like, I don't know why he's not playing. I really don't. Like, and that's on Moyes on that one. It really is. Ib, thanks for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, Ib. For everyone wondering, by the way, Ib's a real pioneer of the space game. Real pioneer. I've heard as well, James. Sorry to give him a shout out, but he might be doing a channel, Ib Talks Football. So that would be good as well to hear. Good
luck to him, mate, because it's fucking hard work on this YouTube game. I know that for certain. Trust me. So good luck to him and all the best to him. Let's go through some comments. Let's have a look. What we got? Let's have a look. See if anyone's got anything they want to say in here. Maybe they're all missing Stuart Pearce's quiz nights or team spirit. The team spirit has gone down the pan though. West Ham Online. Let's be honest. Like, when I look at West Ham now, right, the other day, if we would have went 1-0 down against Brentford, I would have fancied us to sort of come back in that game. But as soon as we went 1-0 down, I was like, this is not good, right? And then when that second one went in, it was like, it's just painful viewing, absolute painful viewing to watch, and it hurts, mate. It really does.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else that you want to add, West Ham Online?
Final comment from me would be, we've got to beat Leeds. If we don't, then I don't know what it's literally becoming the same thing after every game. I don't even think Moyes will go if we lose to Leeds. No. I think it would just be the exact same sort of thing that's happening now. I think we just got to rely on Moyes to turn it around because I don't think the board are going to get rid of him.
Yeah. I actually do agree. To sort of round this up from me, I don't think he's going anywhere, mate. I think Sullivan's very happy to have him here because he's cheap. That's the first thing. He's a cheap manager, and if you get rid of him, you've got to go and bring in someone better than David Moyes, who's going to want a lot more money than Moyes. And then you've also got to pay Moyes off. That I don't think Sullivan's going to want to do. So I think we're stuck with him for the remainder of the season. I do see other people saying about other managers. Listen, I could sit here all night and go through loads and loads of managers. But until the man's gone, what's the point? That's the fact of the matter. What is the point? Like, there is really no point.
At least until we know they're thinking about getting rid of him.
Yeah. Well, I still can't believe that they're not thinking about it. So, I do think there's a lot of in-house wrestling in the ballroom, though. And let's be honest, Mark's come back. Mark Noble comes back. Was it today or tomorrow? He's back in the building again, right? How would he feel if he has to go and tell Moyes he's sacked? Like, that's going to be... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cold, mate. That'd be cold. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it will be harsh. thank you for everyone who's watched tonight. I've had about 150 people watching in my chat tonight. I really do appreciate it. Me and West Ham Online and the boys will do a few more of these in the near future. So anyone wants to come on, speak sense, then they're always welcome at the end of the day. So please do smash a like on the video, and if you're new around here, please do subscribe to the channel. Goes a long way. It really helps me and the lads out. I'll be back during the week for the Leeds preview, which I'll be looking not forward to say the least. But I don't know. Saints has told me West Ham could get something up there. Like Leeds will attack, and we might just need to be on the break against this team. I will say that. And last thing from me is Happy New Year to everyone in the chat and everyone around the world who's New Year 2023. Let's hope for some positivity at West Ham, for crying out loud. And I will see you again in the next one. From me, from West Ham Online, take care and all the best.
There it is.
You know what's coming, yeah.
I've never found a love like this.
Top 3 corners on TV.